Hi, second grade. Welcome to EL for the week. We're going to be thinking a little bit about our unit that we left off with before we left school. And we're going to be reviewing one of our activities that we did. And we've already done already, but it'll be a really good practice for you to get used to doing this type of work at home. So we're going to quickly refresh our brains with what we were learning about before we left and started our school at home. So our question for our unit was, how can citizens make a difference? And we were learning about philanthropy before we left, and how philanthropy is something where we give our time, talent, or treasure for the common good of all people. And when we're thinking about philanthropy, we really need to make sure that we understand what the difference is between wants and needs. Because if we're being philanthropists, we want to make sure that we're giving our time, talent, and treasure to help people get what they need. And we need to think about why those things are really important to people. So our question for today is, what is the difference between wants and needs? And by the end of this, we'll be able to refresh our brains and have a really good understanding of what the difference is between those two things. So we're going to read a story today. Let me move my camera a little bit. Our story is a nonfiction text, which is great because I know Miss A and Miss Bella really love nonfiction books. It is titled, Do I Need It or Do I Want It? It says Making Budget Choices. So it's going to talk a little bit about money and what people spend their money on, but it also really hones in on what the difference is between a want and a need, which is what we are going to be thinking about today. So inside our book, I know we like to look a little bit about text. We have a table of contents in this book. There are going to be a couple of different things inside, and we're not going to get to the bottom part. But there is a section about spending money, making choices, budgets, wants and needs, saving, and who budgets. This book also is really nice. It has a glossary in the back and an index in the back too. And then also has an activity, but we're not going to get to that activity. I'm going to have a different one for you to do today. Okay. Spending money. Did you ever get money for your birthday? Or maybe a neighbor paid you for raking leaves? Did you spend your money right away? How do you decide what you want to do with your money? What a good connection to math, too, when we're thinking all about money. This girl has $5. She could spend it all on candy, or she could buy one piece of candy. Then she might save the rest of her money. When she saves enough money, she could buy this camera. Saving money can help people afford things such as cameras, toys, or video games. Making choices. We all need to buy goods and services. Goods are things we can touch. We eat, we wear, and we use goods. This girl is picking out marbles at the toy store. Marbles are goods. A service is something a person does for someone else. A haircut is a service. What if we don't have enough money to buy all the goods and services we want? We have to choose how to spend our money. Budgets. We can help make a budget to help us decide how to use our money. A budget is a plan for spending and saving money. Writing a budget helps us keep track of our money. It helps us plan for the future. You know that I budget a lot. Think about all the needs that I have, and then if I have any money left over, I can either save it or I can use it to buy some of the things I really want. It says families make budgets. First, the family needs to know how much money it has. When someone in the family works at a paid job, he or she earns money. This money is called income. It says these people are working to earn income. All the money family members earn is income. To make a budget, a family needs to know how much income that they make each month. It says this man earns income by building things. Wants and needs. This is what we're really going to be focusing on. And we'll talk a little bit about what the difference is between our wants and our needs as we read. Next, a family decides what goods and services it needs that month. Food is a good that we need. A place to live is a need. Candy is not a need. So a need is something that we absolutely have to survive. So I know that when we were talking in class, we talked about different needs and thinking about food, water, shelter. And those are definitely needs that we absolutely have to survive and thrive in our world. Candy, I love how it says this is not a need, even though it's a food, right? Candy is not essential for us to be able to survive. It's not going to give us any like big nutritional value. This family is looking at a new house. A home is a need. So that would be the shelter that we need. A family must first plan to spend money on things it needs. This woman is looking carefully at her grocery list. Which things from the list does her family need? So she's thinking about, if I have to choose between the milk that I need for my family or candy, which one would she pick? Probably the milk. That's something that they need to survive. This family has money left after buying the things that they need. How will they spend their money? Families talk about how to spend their money together. Many people share their money with other people who need it, which is great connection to philanthropy, right? So remember, if someone gives their treasure, they might, an example would be that maybe they would give their money to people that need it more than they do. And so if you give your treasure, that's what some people do with the extra money that they have at home. Family members might spend some of their money on things that they want. Wants are things that we don't need to live. New carpet is a want, and a bicycle is a want. A family might have to choose between carpet and the bicycle. A new bicycle is a want. How will this girl's family decide if they should buy one? How will they decide? So one more time, a want is something that you don't absolutely have to survive. It's sometimes really nice to have these things, but wants are some things that you don't really truly need to live. Savings. When families make a budget, they often decide to save some money every month. People save money for things they might need or want later. The family is planning a vacation. A vacation is a want that people save up for. So something they don't absolutely have, but really nice to have. Some people save their money in a jar. Other people save money at a bank. This woman is taking her child to the bank. I use a bank for sure to save my money. Banks keep our money for us. We can get our money back when we need it. These boys are filling out forms to put their money in the bank. A family might need money for later for an expensive car repair, or maybe they're saving up for a trampoline. Do you get an allowance every week? How will you spend your money? Is there something you want to buy now? This boy is getting an allowance. An allowance is money that is given to someone regularly. Maybe you are saving for something you want to buy later. How will you budget to save for it? This girl is creating a budget on her computer. Who budgets? Families are not the only ones who make budgets. Schools, cities, and businesses make budgets too. They have to decide how to spend their money. They have needs and wants, just as families do. These school board members are talking about the budgets of their school. What will you do with your money? Okay, the activity we're not going to do today, but we are going to talk a little bit more about wants versus needs. So we decided on the difference, right? Needs are something we absolutely have to survive. We talked about food, shelter, water, and I also talked with my class, and if you weren't in my class, that's fine. We talked about how clothing is probably another important need to have, especially if you're sheltering yourself outside, really important need. And also the wants on the other side are things that we don't absolutely have to survive. So before you get to move on to an activity to do, we're going to do a quick little practice. I'm going to show you a couple of objects, and you are going to have to decide if they are a want or a need. So thinking back, remember, Wants are something that are nice to have, but you don't absolutely have to have them to live. And needs are something that you absolutely have to survive, okay? So my first item is cereal. Okay, so cereal. Cereal is a food. So do we think it would be a want or a need? Want or a need? I think that food would be something that I absolutely need to survive. So it's something that I eat and I need to thrive. So food would be a need. So cereal is a need. I have this really cute little cat pencil. He actually is inside a box. And how fun that the box comes off. Do we think that this pencil is a want or a need? I know this is really cool to have, right? Really fun, super awesome. But I don't think a pencil is something that I absolutely have to survive and live. It's nice to have, and this one's like super cute, but I don't absolutely need it to survive. So this would be a want. My last one I have inside my cup, and I've been drinking it all morning, is water. Do we think that water is a want or a need? Well, in my head, I know that when we're thinking about things that we need, absolutely have to have them to survive. And I know that if I want to stay healthy, I need to drink lots of water. So this is one of our needs for sure: food, water, shelter. So water is definitely a need that I have to have. Okay. So today, for your activity to show me what you've learned about wants and needs, I'm going to ask you to get onto Seesaw, and there's going to be a little wants versus needs sort. So all you're going to do is you're going to be looking at different objects and names of objects, and you're going to sort them into wants or needs categories for me to show me what you learned about what the difference is. Remember, one more time. Wants are something that are really nice to have, but you don't absolutely need them to survive. And needs are something that you absolutely need to survive. So show me what you know. On Seesaw will be your activity, and I hope you have a really nice time doing it and showing me all of your new knowledge. All right, have a really great rest of your day, second grade. See ya.